I'm Henry Webb, and we're at Old Road Farm in Granville, Vermont, and this is our stone barrier. We use it as our primary tillage tool, really, and the reason we decided to invest in a fancy rototiller was we were sick of battling sod. When we bought this farm, we knew we were going to have to be coming out of sod ground really quick and get started, and this seemed like a good solution. We do have a few stones, and it definitely does what the name says it does, but it's also great for pushing down sod and weeds and pretty much one-step seedbed prep, which is great for fine seeded stuff that we do a lot of direct seeded greens and things like that.
How did you find out about this tool?
I think I just saw it in the Brookdale catalog and then did some research online. There's all kinds of videos of these things doing seemingly incredible things. Yeah, the videos online show them dealing with massive stones and creating a perfect seed bed. This one's definitely a little smaller, but it's what our tractor can deal with, and it does what we need it to for our scale pretty well. This one has a working depth, I think they say, of like 6 or 7 inches. And it depends on the size of the stone, for sure. It does bury them deep enough that you can definitely run a seeder without any issue, which is great. Well, this is our second growing season here, so we've had it for, I guess, a little over a year now. Two growing seasons. It showed up. It's from Italy, so it showed up late last spring after a bunch of shipping delays. So we were in tough shape last early spring trying to prep beds by hand, coming out of sod the fall before. And when this thing showed up, everybody was pretty excited that we didn't have to rake out, grass clumps anymore. My expectations were tempered for the fact that we do have a smaller tractor. This is like a 48, 49 horsepower tractor, and this is one of the smaller models of stone barrier they make. So I knew it wasn't going to handle, basketball-sized rocks and turn that into a perfect seed bed. But I think it's a well-designed unit. It's got a slip clutch on it that is great because you're not going to actually damage anything if you do hit something that I can't deal with. It seems very well built so far. Yeah, I haven't had to replace any of the blades. I changed the oil in the gearboxes this spring. Yeah, no issues with it, and we've used it quite a bit. It does a great job of burying cover crop residue or weed residue and creating a fine seed bed right from that, instead of having to do a lot of multiple tillage passes, which is nice. The idea is that the tines run the opposite way. Let me see if I can do this right. So the tines run this way. If you're looking at it, the tines, I guess, run clockwise and basically pick up and throw the soil through a kind of a screen that makes any clumps, any rocks drop and then get covered by the fine stuff that passes through the screen. So that's generally the way it works. And then it's got the roller on the back just to pack things down a little bit. We have a small, older rototiller that we have run once or twice here, and it's a world of difference of the kind of seed bed this leaves versus that.
Why would somebody choose to use a rototiller instead of this? This seems awesome.
These are expensive, is I think probably the biggest thing. But it's honestly one of the biggest investments in machinery we made when we moved here, scaling up, just because we knew coming out of sod was going to be an issue, and we were trying to get started quickly on new ground. Yeah, it would have been nice to take a handful of years to cover crop everything and prep things that way, but we had to get going right away. We didn't have that luxury. And as we expand and bring new ground into production, we will do that kind of approach. But this still has its place in that it can take a cover crop field and turn it into seed beds with basically one pass pretty quickly. This size unit was about $10,000 with shipping, I believe. Yeah, not cheap, but so far very worthwhile for us. It does what it needs to.
You don't even want to think about the number of labor hours it would take in order to get your seed bed to the same.
No, not at all. Like it would be insane. We couldn't do it. We couldn't do what we do without this. Yeah, so it works pretty good. This had carrots that we planted in March in it, and we just finished harvesting, and now we can come in and plant basil. We could do it today if we had the time, but I think it'll be tomorrow. Yeah, we'll just pull the drip tape back over and go right in. It really leaves a great seed bed. Any residue is 6 inches under the top of the soil, and it's not going to be a problem. We've gotten most of the rocks in here picked anyway, but if there were any, we don't have to deal with them.